Welcome to another show. I'm Sid, and today I'm going to be reacting to Tom MacDonald's Church featuring Brandon Hart and Nova Rockafeller. If you saw my previous reaction to his video No Good Bastards, then you'll know I first heard about Tom maybe 2 or 3 years ago watching The Needle Drop, but I dipped out after that. It wasn't really my thing, and he's only recently appeared again in my recommended. I watched the 3 weeks video where he said he was going to change his style up. Then I saw No Good Bastards. I thought that was a really cool song, really interesting video. So I followed him on Spotify, and then I saw this song, Church, drop in my release radar. I listened to it all night at work yesterday, a couple of times, and I think it's really cool. I was gonna do a reaction to this video straight away, but I obviously had to go to work, so I couldn't. And by the time I came back, it had already passed 1 million views. So I'm guessing a lot of other people are seeing him in their recommended, or else he has a pretty loyal fan base. I did watch a couple of his other videos. Gang Gang, the Nova Rockafeller song, which he featured on, that was pretty cool. I went back, I watched a couple of his rap videos from a few years ago to see what I missed out on. And you can kind of see the transition over time from traditional straight rap to more of like a hard rock heavy sound with guitars and drums and like a more organic beat, essentially. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped to watch this. This is going to be exciting. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like it, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Let me know what you want to see me react to next, and we'll just jump straight into it. This is Tom MacDonald and Brandon Hart featuring Nova Rockafeller, and the song is Church.
I need a short drink or a long prayer. I've been sober, but I don't care. I'm so scared of my own self. I get no help, and that's no fair, so don't go there. I've been hell and back. I got scorched hair in this Gucci cap. I got empty bottles and 1 million follows. I regret swallowing the Ativan. Let's be real, I resent the way that I feel. I pretend that it's cool, but I miss getting drunk, and I'm angry that God doesn't help when I kneel. I said my prayers. When I got clean, it just got worse. I quit doing drugs, and I pleaded with Jesus to save me, but he didn't hear my words.
So straight off the bat, I like this. Like I said, I've already heard the song a couple of times, so it's interesting to see the visuals that go along with it. I had a feeling it would be pretty spiritual, because obviously it's called Church, and in the song he talks about like giving up alcohol and drugs and how he just wants like religion and spirituality. He thinks that's enough for him. But this is cool. I like the crucifixes, the iconography. I like the sweater he's wearing. I really like that orange and cream thing. I want to know where he got that from. It looks pretty sick. And yeah, obviously he's censored the words here, but if you want the uncensored version, then you can check that out on his Spotify. I think he's muting the words here, partly for his audience, I was told in the comments of the last video, so that he can appeal to a broader audience, but also I imagine so that he doesn't get demonetized or penalized or anything by the YouTube algorithm, which is totally fair. For an independent artist, you've got to like do your thing, stay on your grind, try and squeeze as much as you can out of, you know, platforms that will go out of their way to censor certain language. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I like this. This is great. So let's just carry on. I think I paused in the middle of his sentence there.
Don't work, it hurts. I went to church, now I need liquid courage. Whiskey in my glass, I take the knives out of my back to stir it. Go to hell and back again, then show you burns to prove I earned it. I need shots of God to gain the strength I need. I'm just a person. I pray on my way to the liquor store that they lock the door, 'cause I'll lay in my grave if the whiskey pours like it did before. I'm scared, I send out a prayer. Can anybody hear me? Is anybody there? 'Cause honestly it hurts, and every day's worse. I keep buying whiskey when all I need is church.
So yeah, you could probably tell I already know a couple of the lyrics. I really like this song, and I listened to it quite a few times at work last night, so the hook is pretty stuck in my head. I like how melodic his hooks are as well. He's really going out of his way to sing and show that he can push beyond just straight flows. And compared to someone like Dax, who makes similar kind of songs with similar themes, this is a much better melody, a much better hook. You can hear in his voice how he's like going for that rock singer element. And I've noticed as well that he's taken the braids out. Like he's going for more of a straight long hair look, which is a little bit different from what I remember. I recognize him as the guy with the braids in his hair. But yeah, overall this is cool. Once again, we're getting like stained glass windows, iconography from Catholicism, Christianity, things like that. But it all plays into the overall theme of the song, and him overcoming his addictions, I guess. So yeah, let's carry on.
I keep talking to God,
this
but
is Brandon Hart,
me.
right?
And my demons are there, always listening. I get lost in the dark, drowning in whiskey. And I went in so far, you say you miss me. I'm on a ship in a bottle, so say goodbye at the shore. Break the glass so you'll find me, I'm not who I was before. Close my eyes in the darkness and hold on through the storm. I'm a wreck in a
will say, compared to the last song, the No Good Bastards one, which I think was Brandon Hart as well, this like vocal delivery sounds a lot more like what I had in my head. Like in that video, I talked about how I thought he would have the hardest, heaviest rock delivery, and although that's not the case here, it's a little bit more muted and toned down, I still think his visual, his beard, the aesthetic, the way he's built, it plays well into this version of his voice more than the previous version. But like I said, I don't really listen to Brandon Hart. I haven't heard much of him. He's another artist who I just followed because I saw the video last time, but I like this performance a lot more than I do the No Good Bastards one.
Those church pews, bright lights, whiskey glasses, bottles of booze, make short days, turn long nights. The bottle, the Bible, I didn't know what to choose. I pray on my way to the liquor store that they lock the door, 'cause I'll lay in my grave if the whiskey pours like it did before. I'm scared, I send out a prayer. Can anybody hear me? Is anybody there? 'Cause honestly it hurts and every day's worse. I keep buying whiskey when all I need is church.
I also like this part where he's like confessing in the booth, essentially. Like there's almost that double entendre of him in the actual booth, like recording the song, and then him in the confession booth where he's getting all this off his chest. And I like the way he's tying these themes together. I don't know if maybe I'm reading into that, but the way the visuals match what he's talking about in the song. Obviously his lyrical content is, like in this, he's talking about addiction. So his lyrical content is kind of similar to some of the things he raps about in, I watched Sad Rappers, I heard that one, where he's talking about how a lot of people glamorize drug abuse, and he's talking about people like Lil Pump and like musicians like that who make whole songs about getting lit and getting hype. And while his lyrical content is the same, he's talking about addiction, he's using the metaphors in a completely different way, and he's talking about how it's negatively affected his life rather than how being rich has allowed him to do all this stuff and how hype and awesome it is. So I definitely appreciate the honesty that he's putting into these lyrics. Like he's talking about how it's caused him to suffer and how he would much rather, you know, have spirituality in his life, and he thinks that church might be a good alternative to the substance abuse that he was going through before. So it's definitely, it's a strong message, and you gotta give him props for that.
I can't read, but the Bible's still with me.
And it's really well shot too. I think all of their videos that I've seen are really well shot. That's a good one. I like that reflection.
I don't believe anybody will miss me, and I'm on my knees. Tell me, God, are you listening?
Ready? Here it comes. Definitely got a real rock aesthetic now.
I send out a prayer. Can anybody hear me? Is anybody there? 'Cause honestly it hurts and every day is worse. I keep buying whiskey when all I need is church.
That's a solid outro to a video by Rockafeller. Once again, I think that's his girlfriend. She records all the videos and like helps with the production side of things. We'll get that freeze frame at the end where we're seeing Brandon Hart, Tom MacDonald, Rockafeller. Tom looking like a demonic Louis Vuitton model. I really enjoyed this song. I liked it a lot. Like I said, I've been listening to it on Spotify all night. I was going to do a reaction to this immediately when I saw it in my notifications, but I had to go to work. And yeah, I'm glad I sat down and watched this. I enjoyed it. It's good to see Tom making this transition, and I feel like he's being more honest with his music. Like he's making songs that are more introspective and about him and his experience rather than talking about other people's, like his perception of other people's experience, if that makes sense. I think that's what turned me off of him originally, was how a lot of his stuff kind of seemed very preachy, but there wasn't enough information about him to make a judgment on whether he was being authentic. But seeing some of these songs where he opens up and he's a little bit more confessional, you definitely get a better understanding of who he is and what he's been through and where he's come from to get to where he is now. So seeing some of those older songs where he's ranting and a little bit more angry about the world, it makes sense. You can tell that it's coming from like an honest place. I think Tom MacDonald's on track to be one of the biggest YouTube musicians for sure. Like, I'm not calling him specifically a YouTube musician, but as someone who primarily posts their content here, who's independent and unsigned artist, who manages the production and the editing and all of that on his own, and I imagine the marketing too, because I've noticed that like he sells physical copies of his CDs. As someone who's doing all of that and putting in that grind themselves, I think he's probably going to be one of the biggest artists on YouTube in that category for sure, if he keeps up with this kind of output. Because I look back through some of his videos, he posts very consistently, and he even posts like little sketches where he's doing like Black Friday sales and things where he's not taking himself super seriously, you know, he's playing with it, and he's kind of enjoying that vibe of just being able to post what you want and do what you want and not be beholden to a label or a manager or someone who will tell him, no, you can't do this, you have to take these lyrics out, change this. So honestly, I gotta say I'm a fan of Tom MacDonald. It's weird to say considering where I first heard about him from the Cringing With series that the Needle Drop put out all those years ago, but it's true. Like, I really enjoy this. I like the last song that he put out. I've gone back through a couple. Like I said, I like the Nova Rockafeller song that he featured on, Gang Gang. I thought that was a completely different attitude that they were coming from. That was more of like an upbeat kind of love song, essentially. And yeah, I'm excited to see what he has next. The video said the next 3 weeks are going to be good, going to be a complete change of pace. So he may have one more video coming, he may have more, but I'm looking forward to it either way. I'm excited to see what he has next, and yeah, this was good. I enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go check out Tom MacDonald, and if you enjoyed this reaction, maybe leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you want to see me react to next, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.